Everybody, I am driving to work once again. Guess I got something I want to talk about. First, we gotta say what's up to Ludwig. Hold on. Ludwig, what's up, dude? Ludwig, what's up, dude? Ludwig. Alright. Gotta go to work, dude. Alright, well, I'm just gonna get right to it. What I want, oh man, and there's a spot on the window, so you guys are gonna have to be looking at that the whole time. Now that's annoying. Alright, so, but I'm actually very safe driving right now. I got both hands on the wheel. Yeah, but it is pretty trafficy conditions, and this is when it actually is kind of dangerous around Los Angeles, is when it's not bumper to bumper, it's busy, and everybody's driving fast. So this is the time you really want to watch out when you're driving around Los Angeles. But anyway, on my way to Seymour Park, and I want to talk about the internet, and something I really love, and that is, and this is a bit off topic, you guys probably don't know about it, is Stream Junkies on YouTube. And this is a channel that I've loved since the beginning, and I wasn't even on board too early, but since about maybe 2012, 2013. And then I really loved it when they started doing movie fights, and I watched the first movie fights, and I watched every single one of them since. And just love it. It was just so great to see them and how they evolved over time and how they took YouTube to kind of this new place in 2012, and what Andy Signore did, and it was very effective. He took one rocket, which was on his trailers, and then he was able to build like a media conglomerate. He was able to build like a suite of media out of that. And movie fights really helped too. That thing went far and deep into the internet, and I don't know, and even how on Stream Junkies News on Thursdays was pretty sweet too. Anyway, and then the reason I'm making the video is Andy Signore got himself into some trouble. I honestly don't know any of the details, but he got fired, and this was a big much ado. And it's funny because Andy Signore kind of built the whole thing, and then all of a sudden he was gone. And then the question is, what do they do? How do we know what to do? And I guess if, like, you can take a look at what they did and see what professionals do. Defy Media, they probably know what they're doing. So what do? It doesn't seem like they changed that much. They took a lot of time, and they still do honest trailers, and they're exactly the same. You wouldn't be able to tell that Andy's gone. And they do, they still do the Thursday show with Hal Rudnick, I think. So they just kept that channel basically the same, and then they do movie fights. And this is where the main channel, this is where they changed things up, and they took their time, and they got rid of the 3 people, and it's much different format. And although I like the format, and I like where their head's at, to me it's just not quite as fun as the old show. And honestly, back in the day, those first few episodes when it's still pretty rough, those are as fun as anything. And I don't know, something about having the 3 people really makes it cool, and it makes it really, really fast, and it makes you have to be more aggressive. It makes the everyone's true colors come out a little bit more, because instead of competing one-on-one where they're going back and forth, they have to get a word in against 2 other people. So it forces the action. It's like playing bigger blinds in poker. It just forces the action a little bit more, and I think that's great for a debate show. Nonetheless, they're gonna fix that, and it's gonna be awesome. And honestly, what's going on with this, it's a good allegory for their other channel, Stream Junkies News, and this is where they're really kicking some major ass. So they took over Stream Junkies. They made Stream Junkies News. They took over another channel that had like 1 million subscribers. It's another movie channel, but then they lost interest in all those subscribers. So they took over a channel with 1 million subscribers, but nobody was watching it. It was kind of like on Twitter when you see like half of your people haven't been on Twitter for like a year. And at the very beginning, they were getting like 3,500 views on their Stream Junkies News videos, and it was, and then now all of a sudden it's getting bigger. But so the point I'm making is that those 1 million didn't really help them out that much. And it seems like ever since Andy left, what they have done is, because they just keep that one channel the same with a little bit of an upgrade, and now they just all focus on Stream Junkies News, and they got a great show every day. It's live, and it's Stream Junkies Universe. And they just talk about the movie news, and they do it in a fun way, but also a responsible way. And it's just, other than Grace, that's really the place to go. And I really just think they've all done a great job, and Dan Murrell must be the boss. I can imagine Defy Media couldn't be any happier handing it over to Dan Murrell, because I'm sure Andy Signore got screwed on the money somehow, some way. You can't compete with a media conglomerate. Defy Media is like, oh my god, this is the best thing we've ever heard of. This guy that has like an actual ownership claim to what he built himself. This is the best thing ever. fire him and put Dan Murrell in charge, and Defy Media is like, cha-ching. But he's done a great job, and he's so studious about what he does. And I just wanted to point out that yesterday in one of his movie box office videos, he just broke down the numbers in a way that no one else does, in a fair way. And I think Dan Murrell is really just a good guy. What else? And they got Roth Cornett, who took a lot of the responsibility on in terms of being the on-camera. Let's keep it moving, people. Let's keep it moving. Like, that's her job. She has to put up the topic and keep it moving. And she's really done a good job, because if you're gonna have somebody to tell you to keep it moving, you know, you might as well like the person, because that person gets very annoying, like at work. You know, every work has got to have that guy. And Roth Cornett does it on camera for the Screen Junkies, and the fact that she's so pleasant just makes that better. And then we got Spencer Gilbert, who was he's a writer. He was the main writer for Honest Trailers, and back in the day on camera, and he wasn't the greatest. And you can't put writers on camera. That's been a rule for a long time, I guess. I mean, that was what Spencer said, so I just believed him. But he's really turned himself into a pretty good on-camera presence. He's good at talking. They give him opinions. He says it well, or you know, they're his own opinions. But you know, he seems to have a lot of papers in front of him. I can't imagine him actually writing anything down. He seems like the guy at work that's trying to do the least work. And anyway, I like his style. I like his style. And probably he's just smart enough to know to focus on his bread and butter, which is Honest Trailers. If Honest Trailers isn't good, the engine that runs all this isn't good. So he's probably smart. But and then we have the other writer. He was on the movie Fights with Seth Rogen. Man, the fact that I don't know his name. Joe Starr. Joe Starr's the man. I think he's great. He was also a slow burn. I mean, I think it's just hard to not be a guy on camera and then to just be on camera. And everybody was a slow burn, but now they're all experts, and it's awesome. And then what else do they have going on Screen Junkies? They got Hal Rudnick, the host of Movie Fights, and to me, that is a mistake. Because Hal Rudnick, over the years of Movie Fights, has proven over and over and over again that he doesn't understand movie fights. He's hardly ever won. He doesn't understand. I don't think he actually truly understands the difference between a belief and an opinion, and how that matters when you're in an argument about, like, with logic, and you're arguing with logic in a debate. So I don't know why they're doing that. Just let him do his thing, which is good as interviewing the scientists. And how about we just bring in that scientist every week and we just go over a new movie? Those are always the best videos. I love it when Hal brings guys in. They got to focus on Hal on Thursday. I mean, that main channel is the engine that keeps everything going. We don't need him on Movie Fights. Honestly, the host should be, I don't know, they've changed it in which the host is now not the judge, and that kind of changes the dynamics of the fighting, and it simplifies it. And honestly, I think that would have been better if the host wasn't the judge when there's 3 people. Anyway, I don't know, is that a cop behind me? I don't know what to do about that, but maybe a new judge. And I think once Danielle, I saw her last week working the couch, and once she gets better at the couch, like, she's a little bit slow, but so is everybody when they do that for the first time. Spencer didn't even try, and Star got pretty good at it, but she's still a little slow. So I think that Dan Murrell riding the couch is just always a good idea. It's weird, he's always the best at riding the couch and being the computer guy. And who knows, maybe that is his job, and we're gonna have to find a new host, because I can't imagine Dan Murrell putting up with Rudnick as host very long. I think this is just still kind of the tester phase, and maybe they should just, like, hire a real celebrity to be the host, and put that on YouTube for free. I don't know. I think that could be an idea. Somebody they really respect. Can you get NPH? Can they get Neil Patrick Harris to host Movie Fights? That's who I'd get. What else is going on? And I'm not a Screen Junkies member anymore. I paid for it right off the bat, and then I watched it for a little bit, and then I canceled it, and then I kept on getting it free for like 6 months, and I loved it. I watched it every day, but for some reason just didn't renew it. I probably should do that, but are they still doing TV fights with Roxy Stryer? I never really liked it, but I was always excited to see the 100th episode for free on YouTube. I'm like, how were they taking this show? and we never got it. So if that's on YouTube, if somebody can just put it, shoot me a link. Yeah, at 10 minutes, thanks for watching, everybody. I'm just talking about Screen Junkies and how they handled rocky times, and they really did a great job. And they took a channel that was getting 0 views, even though they had a bunch of subscribers, and now they are boosting it. And they just are doing it, and they're consistent, and even the content and what they're saying gets better and better. And yeah, keep the old channel the same. Keep modifying fighting movie fights, and then just boost Screen Junkies news. That's a great formula. All right, I'm done talking. I don't know why I had to talk about Screen Junkies. That's just weird. All right, oh, Ludwig, gotta say bye, dude. We're like 10 minutes away from work. Ludwig, what's up, buddy? Gotta go to work, dude. Gotta go to work, dude. All right, here we go. All right, well, thanks for watching, everybody. And Screen Junkies, I love you.